Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. On this channel, I've lost count of the number of times someone has disagreed with me and said that the US government's opinion doesn't matter because the buyer is in another country. Look at this B-News planning a full withdrawal from the US. They have no idea how the world functions, what racket is, or this parent system. So, moving ahead, none of this is about Nance, who is no longer with us. Have a wonderful evening. This is a discussion regarding global trade. Over the following 5 years, they will be overseen by an impartial third party who will report back to FinCEN on all of their financial transactions. Along with the OFAC, who are the watchdogs for sanctions and money laundering at the US Treasury Department. They deal with this on a global scale. When we discuss purchasing Nance Coinbase, keep this in mind. Here we are not talking about blockchain, Kraken. Yes, someone is using the Bitcoin network to launder money, and he can't stop it. There is no authorization. Instead of being blockchain, these exchanges are just businesses with ties to the banking system. Also, don't bother looking down on the moon, it won't help you at all. You could say this is a component of our cryptocurrency efforts. Having no one, not even the United States government, exert absolute control over you. When we're examining these various entities, it's important to distinguish between blockchain firms and blockchain itself. This is because one of these entities could be developing the capabilities of a blockchain. That is not the code, you see. There is a clear distinction between that and the real person or group of persons who can be apprehended. This is a huge matter, and we must acknowledge it. At this point, we must see how they unravel the situation. The markets appear to be in a really good position at the moment. There is still life in the price market, in fact, it is going up slightly. The meeting between BlackRock and the SEC to build their Bitcoin ETF is gaining momentum, and a lot of what we see happening on this large parade is related to that. They're drawing near. Will this round be the one in which it occurs? I don't think it matters much. Both BlackRock and Fidelity will receive their exchange-traded funds (ETFs) in the long run. Not only in the US, but all across the world, they are essentially driving everyone out of town. With the arrival of their custodian services, trading services, and the few remaining exchanges, they will usher in their services. Additionally, it is likely that you will have a Coinbase at a Kraken and similar structures. However, their actions are irrelevant. Since blockchain operates on a decentralized network, no one can seize it. Rest certain, many are thinking, oh no, here comes BlackRock, they're going to change the game. Do not be alarmed. Yes, you are correct, you cannot alter the fundamental worth of their blockchain. You can bet that the businesses situated on the on and off ramps will monopolize the market. Things are going to become crazy here. According to a former president of the New York Stock Exchange, if the spot ETF is approved, a rush of capital will pour into Bitcoin. Regarding the matter at hand, I am more concerned with the long term than with the immediate gratification of a large influx of funds. Your eye is irrelevant. Unlike endowment or hedge funds, we have a unique purpose for using blockchain technology. However, for many individuals, this will be a better investment vehicle, and it will attract additional participants. Although it may not be immediately applicable to our use case, I will consider it as a potential supplementary funding mechanism for blockchain technology. This is going to be huge, but I'm looking at the bigger picture rather than predicting that $1 million will be flowing into the market the very next day. For example, I really doubt it will be of that nature. Absolutely, Bitcoin's value will skyrocket. The news is excellent. We have witnessed crypto go crazy before, so it doesn't matter how much it is. The focus, though, should be on the long-term consequences. When these exchange-traded funds (ETFs) begin to circulate, I will be looking at how blockchain technology is being integrated into conventional finance. This is a game of patience. We're winning, and they'll have no choice but to capitulate in the end. This SEC closed-door meeting, where they will discuss settlements and other matters, has recently come to light. Everyone is assuming that this is the Ripple case and that they are preparing to resolve it quickly. It might be Ripple, but it could also be any other issue they're currently handling. Do not put too much stock in that. Determining the SEC's thoughts is challenging. No matter how many times I looked for a clue in the tea leaves, they never resolved the issue. For their health, it may be disastrous. When they lose, it's because they lost. Their situation was quite dire. The fact that it caught them off guard. I am uncertain. You can't be too rational in this situation because of Gary Gensler. Could they maybe attempt to object in this case as a whole? It's impossible to tell. I think so, definitely. Although it is very reasonable, they may choose not to implement it because of how reasonable it is. Who can say what these behind closed doors gatherings may be discussing? Ripple is just one possible topic. Thus, the outcome of that will be deferred. And yet, I anticipate that they will begin to tidy up this mess, Ripple. Here at Coinbase Kraken, we can begin settling some issues. They will do that, once again, if he thinks it makes sense. Just like the DOJ, they'll grab the wind and use it to their advantage. Or they'll take $4 billion from finance and use it to monitor their books. Either way, we'll have a more compliant crypto system. Or we'll get nothing, since he'll hide in Dubai and we can't do anything anyway. At some point, you must have realized that there is a limit to how much pressure you can exert. Let's move forward with imposing a stiff penalty that everyone can handle and introducing new rules and regulations to make cryptocurrency safer. Who knows if the SEC will even consider this, but that is the way they should be thinking. The Winklevoss twins, I'm sorry, but this is becoming ugly. Proceeds from the Genesis system, totaling $689 million, have been the subject of a lawsuit filed by Gemini. This was truly consumer money from Gemini's Earn program, and it was displayed there. Plus, they withdrew $689 million when things began to go south. Genesis has just declared bankruptcy. What exactly does that imply? In cases of bankruptcy, what occurs? Clawbacks, attempting to recoup those monies, is something you're familiar with. It is possible that this is what we have been viewing, and it may be quite awful. In the event that Gemini goes bankrupt, Genesis will already be out of business, thus, it is important to keep a close watch on this. Yeah, we'll have to handle this one of those times. This one isn't quite as major as the one involving Nance that we recently witnessed resolved, but it's still significant. It pertains to Grayscale and all the things they handle within this organization, and we saw them liquidate CoinDesk to generate some funds. Anyway, something to keep an eye on is that the Winklevoss twins had their money recouped, which means that customers' funds are also being recouped. Users should exercise caution during this time because disruptions are possible. If possible, users should self-custody their assets. Users should only store their money on the most reliable exchanges. Despite the positive outlook, there is still a chance that we might see an ETF or perhaps another bull run. There is still some gloomy material. You know, out there in the psychosphere, you've got to keep your eye on, and I wouldn't keep my money on Gemini or Binance or any of them, even Kraken, anyone with serious trouble, or you're just unsure what's going to happen. And it's just good idea if you can avoid it in totality. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. See you later, bye.